So my name is Alex Smith, again, CEO of Spartan Solar. I've been in the industry for over 6 years now. I started out in California, just taking a bet on myself. I borrowed $4,000 from my grandma because I didn't come from money, I didn't have any money. And I needed to be able to ship my car out, get flights, and pay a security deposit on an apartment complex I could not afford the next month. I came out there to join the solar industry, getting paid about 1/5 of what we're getting paid today, so significantly less, but still in the promise to basically be in sales and sell something that's of service to everybody and makes complete and absolute sense. And when I was told my job would be to talk people into spending less money on a bill they're never going to cancel, which is the electricity bill, become owners instead of renters, and get paid thousands of dollars from Uncle Sam in the form of a tax credit for going solar, I just realized that I don't know why anyone would not do it. Because the last thing in the world I expected to do after I graduated from FSU with a triple major in finance, professional sales, and marketing, the last thing I expected to do was knock on doors. In fact, I didn't even think that was a thing people still did. I was surprised that that was the path I was taking, but when I understood what it was we were selling, it just made so much sense. I knew I just had to get in front of people, because in this job, if you're personable, like you're likable and they can trust you because they can tell you're coming from a place of honesty, sincerity, and authenticity, they're gonna listen to you and give you an opportunity to tell them how it works. And when I have a chance to sit down with someone, just like you will have a chance to sit down with someone, you'll end up eventually with the confidence to be able to tell them, look, 9 times out of 10, when I sit down with someone just like yourself, they go solar. The only reason you would not go solar today is if you have trees all over your home, in which case I would just tell you this doesn't make sense, or you don't have a respectable credit history, you haven't been paying your bills on time, in which case we're not able to do the project for you. Would you say you're good on your credit? And they're gonna say yes. And I'm like, yeah, that's why when I ultimately show you how this works, the only thing you're gonna really be deciding to do is pay less money and own your power and replace this never-ending, ever-increasing liability, which is the electric bill, which has gone up by, in your neighborhood, about 40% over the last 3 years, with an asset you own. And everyone I work with or I'm close with, or I know in the business world, would far rather prefer to have more assets and less liabilities in any possible way. And that's all we're doing, is we're just replacing their liability with an asset that they can be excited about, that they can tell their friends about, because we're not only helping their bank account, but we're helping the planet, we're helping the company, we're providing jobs for everybody. So this is really one of the most lucrative professions. It is the only job I know of where you are not asking someone to spend more money than they currently pay. We literally cannot hurt someone's situation. The only thing we can do is help it, because if we're not able to show them a way where they could pay the same or less to go solar, we just usually tell them, just don't do it. But 9 times out of 10, as long as we checked out the roof ahead of time and we did our job there, the numbers are going to come back good. And if they don't come back good, we'd be the first to tell them. But that's where you have the privilege and opportunity to sell. You are extremely fortunate to be at this time of the world and of solar to be able to participate in this. I'm grateful, I'm blessed, because I could not imagine doing anything else. And I really believe, it's the last thing I'm going to say here, if you use the next 3 to 4 years and you go all in and commit to yourself and commit to what this is, and you become the best version of yourself in the process, it will buy back the next 30 to 40 years of your life. You will set yourself up forever, your family up forever, and you will become an amazing provider. That is it.
That was a word from our leader, Alex. He owns the organization, but he also does sales on his own on the side, in addition to all of the work he does as the CEO. Here at Spartan, the mission statement is pretty simple: help out others and make a great deal of money while we do it. This new solar push is kind of like our 21st century gold rush. We're going to talk a lot about how pay works and the sort of money you can expect doing this job properly here in the next section. But to sum up what Alex had said to us, we're here to do a service that we can only really do right now, because in the future it will be gone, and in the past this wasn't as good as it is. So we're at the perfect time to offer this service. If we do it properly, we do it consistently, and we help out others, we're going to take home enough money to set ourselves up permanently for our living situation in the future, with our families, with our future goals and aspirations, with our business and entrepreneurial intentions. We'll have all that we need, all of the capital ready at our disposal, if we work this job properly and we fully commit. Here's a brief rundown of the sort of conversation your closer, the professional who's going to sell the deal that you've set up the homeowner at the door to speak with, will go through in order to go from ambivalent, uninterested, to putting solar on their home. What a closer will do when they walk in is essentially just have a nice long conversation about the financial situation and future financial position of homeowners taking advantage of the grid. So they'll ask questions and identify needs, like, why did you purchase the home instead of rent it? Why did you purchase a car instead of rent it? Why have you not gone solar yet? Why do you think all of these neighbors that I'm showing you on this map have gone solar? things like that in order to determine if this home is going to be a good fit, if they have what it takes to identify solar as a useful asset for them. Once the basics are ironed out and we have an understanding of how the product works and the service that this is going to offer a homeowner, the next question is pretty straightforward, which is, are you ready to take a look at the numbers and take advantage of this today? And if a homeowner has any other questions, they'll ask them, they'll square them away, they'll make sure they understand how it works on their roof, that their home's going to be taken care of, all the crazy questions you can come up with. What happens during a storm? Will they light on fire? Whatever you want. They're going to answer those questions in the home, and then they're going to look at the numbers together. Hey, your bill was higher. It could be lower. Solar will help you get there. This is the amount the government's going to give you. Let's submit our application today to get this process started in helping you out. And that about sums up the conversation that you'll be setting up people on the doors in their homes with a professional. The goal is just to come in and sit down with them, show them that this is really going to help them and that they should have done this before. It's unfortunate that they didn't. But now that we're here, we can help them out. So let's take a brief look into some examples of homes that we've served, products that we've rendered, and services that we've given to other families in our community here in East Florida, in the greater Orlando area. Starting with 3 projects of mine that I've helped push through to install, meaning that these families have been properly served. The first is a big $50 savings a month. Very interesting. Their bill went down pretty dramatically. We've eliminated all of the personally identifying information in order to preserve their privacy. However, the situation is pretty straightforward. They were paying more, that first little circle, for the utility that they were paying instead of the loan payment for their solar that they own. Meaning that they get to build equity in a product instead of paying a rent now. It's theirs permanently and it's fixed at a cheaper price. The second and third are in the same boat. Cheaper today, getting paid thousands of dollars from the government. And on all of these deals, I personally made thousands of dollars selling them. It's nice to know that we'll be able to work with the peace of mind, knowing that we're actually helping people out and putting them in a better situation. We're giving them an asset, replacing a liability like a rental payment, that will last forever on their property. It will save them an incredible amount of money, not just today, but if you take some of those figures we just looked at and extrapolate them across time, 25 years, all of those families are saving tens of thousands of dollars because they took advantage of this program while it existed, because I got to help them do that. And in doing that properly, I rightly get to take home a couple $1,000s myself. It's a win-win situation. The only person who loses is the monopolized utility grid, the ones who have been bending people over for the last 5-6 decades regardless. So it's probably good that we get to take a couple bucks out of their pocket.
Hey there, folks. Tired of fighting zombies? Well, how about fighting high electricity bills instead?
Here's a quick homework assignment, something for you to give a shot so you can learn a little bit more about how solar works on your own before we move forward to talking about the pay and compensation structure here at Spartan. Go out to any person in your community. If you live in an apartment complex where people don't own property nearby, go to a nearby community and knock on some doors of people who have solar on their property. Learn about why they decided to do it and how it's helped them. Figure out if it cost them any money up front, or if they did it a while back, they may have spent a couple $1,000s to do it. Figure out if it's saving them money today, if they know what to expect from bills and they don't have to worry about their expenditure anymore. If there are people in those communities who have had a bad experience, learn about them so you can compare with their experience to what we're trying to offer here at Spartan and see why we're trying to change the industry. We don't want to be like the other guys who are screwing people out of thousands of dollars in bad setups with systems that don't provide what they need. That's not our mission statement here. So go and learn about the overall experience of people nearby to you who have solar and see what you're going to be able to offer to those in your future.